All right, the United Steelworkers of America have returned to face down the army of chaos being led by Conrad Kurz. The United Steelworkers of America, of course, being Norsca whenever I play Norsca. I being Benvolio, representing the Montague boys back home. All right, so my army is parked down here on the bottom of this hill. Chaos is coming in over the rim of this hill. Back here, I'm going to go take a look at my opponent's army first off, and starting with his right flank. So on his right flank, as on his left flank, he is rocking two groups of Chaos Warhounds. So that's on both flanks. They are very fast with low melee combat stats. However, they're really good for getting around enemy lines, getting around the enemy flanks, attacking archers in the back line, and being able to slow down groups of infantry, getting on top of them, and basically stopping them, slowing them. They will not last too long in combat, though. They're basically for quickly pinning enemy formations in place and getting around flanks. He's got 5 groups of Chaos Marauders in his front line. Very basic tier Chaos unit, the lowest melee Chaos unit, I think. Bottom tier infantry. A few of them have chevrons in it, so slightly better stats, slightly beefier, but not by much. His backline is 4 groups of Chosen, very scary, so elite Chaos troops. This is a group of Chosen with halberds. Nasty, very armored, armor-piercing anti-large. Armored, doing a lot of damage. Standard Chosen with axes and shields, just nasty infantry. Meant to do some work. His lord is Sigvald the Magnificent, a blonde pretty boy with chafy leg things. Take a look. Like he must be chafed so bad with those leggings, like metal leggings, and then his upper thigh is kind of exposed. It's weird. Ugh. I don't even want to imagine wearing those. Anyway, Chosen with great weapons, 2 groups, armor piercing. Great axe infantry, heavily armored. He's got the Summoners of Rage. Yep. Dragon Ogres. Half dragon, half ogre. And all Mike Pence look alike. So they are coming around his right flank. So that's his main army with the 2 groups of Warhounds, of course, on the flank. And over here, my units are already colliding. We already got a dogfight over here. My Norscan Ice Wolves. These guys are units I love choosing for the flanks. I love having on my flanks. I love being able to run around. They're very fast, quite like the Warhounds. Their combat stats are a little bit better, and they're also imbuing frostbite on anything they come in contact with. So they're slowing down units they come in contact with, which is great. I use them to pin enemy groups in place and bring up my Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. So they are shielded cavalry, and they throw axes. They throw axes that are armor piercing, so able to do damage against armored units. Not as effective against the Warhounds, but really good in combination with the Wolves. I like having something that can have a bit of range in combination with the wolves to fire over the wolves as they pin enemy units in place. Let's take a look at the back of my line. I've got a group of Marauder champions being held in reserve, ready to plug any holes that appear in the line as Chaos advances. I've got 2 groups of Norscan Ice Trolls. Look at they, aren't they beautiful? Ain't that cute? Ain't that cute? 2 groups of Norscan Ice Trolls, terror-causing units, so they freak people out. They hit like a truck. They armor-piercing damage, and they also imbue frostbite like the wolves. They slow down anything they come into contact with. That's 2 groups of those. I have 2 groups of Marauder Berserkers in the front line here on the far right flank. Of the line, Marauder Berserkers, double axe-wielding infantry specialists, well, very good at killing infantry, so they're going to chew right through those Chaos Marauders. They're going to do really well against them, because that's what they're designed for, is getting through infantry, chewing through low armored infantry, but against the Chosen they don't do so well. The Marauder with great weapons is going to do slightly better against the Chosen, having great weapons which imbue armor-piercing damage. They're not going to do too great, though. I have 2 groups of them, 1 group in the center of Fimir warriors with great weapons, armor-piercing, armor-sundering Cyclops lizard things with big nasty clubs, and Throgg, and oh my goodness, we are colliding. Boom. So as the units collide, as the lines collide, I will quickly introduce 2 groups of javelins at the back. Firing over with their spears, doing armor-piercing and anti-large damage. No, sorry, just anti-large damage. Okay, so the Trolls and the Fimir and the great weapons have all collided, chewing through the Chaos Marauders as expected. Already, his front line is buckling under the pressure of my monsters and my damage-dealing infantry. The Fimir have come up against the Chosen with great weapons. They're not going to do so well, and the damage is quickly going to pile up. I believe they have the downhill advantage as well. So the Femir are going to start taking a lot of abuse. The Great Weapons, of course, not really having much of a chance, but trying anyway. The Summoners of Rage coming in against a group of Berserkers on this right flank. They were originally chasing the Javelins, but decided to buckle around and make sure that this line was solid. However, this is a great opportunity for me to use my Marauder Hunters with Javelins to fire into them. Having an anti-large bonus, they're going to do extra damage against the Summoners of Rage. And so my Trolls and Berserkers are more focused on these Chaos Marauders, chasing them off. Marauder Horsemen coming in to start throwing axes at the Summoners of Rage. Where are my wolves? I don't know where my wolves are. Here's my one group of wolves over here. I do believe I thought I had some wolves over here. Oh, I've got some wolves coming through the back, trying to get around to plug some holes. Alright, so my Marauder Chosen Halberds coming in, going to be killing the Marauder Berserkers. Not an ideal engagement. Marauder Champions taking a bit of damage. Over here, Summoners of Rage just about finished. A group of Chosen breaking through my right flank after my Javelins. I'm going to want to put a stop to that. And here come the Wolves and the Trolls and all the heavy metal you like. Oh, slowing up that group of Chosen with great weapons. Okay, so his Chosen have done really well. He's got a nice strong center, and he's coming after me. My group of Berserkers who are rampaging, that means they're out of control, are trying to hold off the Chosen, but that's not going to go too well for them. They are, however, giving my Marauder Horsemen time to throw in armor-piercing axes against the Chosen, which is okay, which is pretty good. More armor-piercing damage coming in with the Norscan Ice Trolls. Oh, unless they decide to. I decided to chase off a group of Chaos Marauders. It's a real shame. I could have really used that charge bonus. And the Trolls would have been much more effective just hammering into those Chosen right there with the Berserkers' help. That could have done really well, because the Berserkers plug up their hitboxes by just kind of gathering around them, and they give less space on the Trolls for Chosen to hit. So that would have been a good combo, but the Berserkers are going to go. I brought my Marauder Champions up behind the two groups of Chosen, but even with the Chosen relatively depleted, that's not going to go to the way of the Marauder Champions. Chosen are just a much higher quality infantry troop, so I have to start backing these guys up, because these Chosen will break out, and that'll be big trouble for me. So I'm bringing everything in now. I'm bringing in the Norscan Ice Wolves to try and get some frostbite on everything, kind of clog that up. Bringing in my other group of Trolls. This group of Chosen down here is broken. I'm bringing in the Femir. I've got all the monsters coming in to slowly hammer on the on these group of Chosen. Not a good idea, though. I really should have had somebody dealing with these halberds instead, and instead of letting the Femir get caught. I didn't want to engage the halberds with the Femir. That would have been not good. I should have probably considered chucking some axes at the halberds, because the Femir are not going to do very well against the halberds, who are anti-large. Already you can see one poor little lizard man is getting cornered and chopped up. Oh no. Oh, how sad. He's dead. Oh no. And then another one's dead. They're the last of their kind. Oh no. So yeah, no, and those Chosen still alive, and with another group of Chosen, just another one. It's a lot dicey. It's dicey. I don't know which ways it's going to go. My Lord, I could have been regenerating. The balance bar is in my favor, but my Lord, I could have been pulling out and regenerating. Having Sigval on him is not ideal. Sigval is a duelist, so he's just stabbing Thrall in the back while Thrall's trying to accomplish something. But he decided to call it there anyway, and that was the game. So that was Norsca versus Chaos. United Steelworkers of America victorious. Again, let's take a look at the kill count. What group of units did the most damage on my army? It would be the Norscan Ice Wolves over here with 144 kills. That's right, Wolfies. They were great. I love that unit. I just love using units like Wolves, Frosty Wolves, Liquid Nitrogen Puppies, Imbuing Frostbite. 80 kills, 144 kills. That's great. Trolls 68, 87, pretty good. The Femir 52, could have done better. The Berserkers 84, 81. So everybody pulled their weight, did decently. The worst group I had was a group of Javelins with only 21 kills, and a Marauder Great Weapons with 22 kills. But nothing with dismal kill count. The Champions got 66, which is pretty good. Over here, though, his army tells a bit of a different story in the distribution of kills, and you can kind of see what units were effective for him and not. The Marauders. The Marauders didn't do too well. They melted against my front line of Trolls and Berserkers, but the Chosen just chewed through my Berserkers and racked up a lot of kills. With the regular Chosen with 103 kills, the Chosen with great weapons with 100 kills, and 72 for the Halberds, and another group of Chosen great weapons 49 kills. Only 17 on the Dragon Ogres, the Summoners of Rage, because I had that group of Trolls, Berserkers, and Javelins on top of them. Almost from the start, the Trolls hammered them. The Javelins were able to fire in while the Trolls and Berserkers held them in place, and it was just not a good day for them. The Warhounds were outmatched on the flanks. The combination of the Ice Wolves and the Marauder Horsemen were just a bit too potent for the Chaos Warhounds, and they did not trade very well on the flanks. So yeah, it was a fun game. It was a really lightning quick game, lots of fun. This is for the boys back home. Keep it real.